I've been thinking a lot about how layered the brain actually is. There's the voice that makes decisions, the voice that justifies them, and the voice that evaluates them after the fact. And between all of that, there's the truth that we don't always listen to. And what's interesting is that we don't usually lie to ourselves on purpose. Most of the time, it's subconscious. It's the mind doing what it does best. It's protecting comfort while still trying to feel like it made progress. And I notice this most clearly in the gym. The gym has a way of stripping away your stories. When your body is under pressure, the cracks start to show up. And for me, leg day is where those cracks scream the loudest. I get anxious on leg days, I always have. It's uncomfortable, it leaves you breathless, and pushing close to failure genuinely feels unpleasant. And there's no hiding from it. And so recently, while doing leg extensions, I caught myself doing something subtle yet important. I was so fixated on completing my 10 reps that I stopped caring about my form, and I wasn't doing it intentionally. Now, at first glance, that doesn't sound like a big deal, like a lot of people have bad form, but then I realized that I do know the correct form, so why am I deviating from it? Because I'm not here to complete reps, I'm here to build muscle. And muscle doesn't grow because I moved a weight around 10 times, it grows because of tension, control, and stress placed where it actually matters. And by chasing the number, I'd completely lost the point of the exercise. And that realization stopped me mid-set because I had to ask myself, why am I fixated on the checkbox instead of the objective? And that's when it clicked. This isn't about the gym. It's about how the subconscious operates everywhere else in life. Because your subconscious doesn't care about meaning, it cares about completion. If you give it a target, it will hit that target in the easiest way possible, even if it completely misses the reason why you set the target in the first place. And unfortunately, this is how people end up being busy but stagnant, disciplined but not growing, and consistent but not progressing. I spoke about this in my previous monologue, the idea of revisiting your thesis. You have to keep reminding yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, your routines turn robotic, and once that happens, honesty starts slipping. You start doing things that look right instead of things that are right. You wipe the gym equipment when people are watching, but skip it when no one's around. You follow routines because they fit your identity, not because they still serve you. You chase the appearance of discipline instead of discomfort. That actually creates the change. And the scary part is that it all feels productive. It feels like progress, but it's not. And that is why honesty with yourself matters more than discipline. It matters more than consistency, and it matters more than motivation. If you're not honest, none of those things lead anywhere meaningful. You can work hard for years and still end up stuck in the same place, just more tired. For me, this whole journey started because I stopped recognizing myself. At some point, a mask took over. And that mask shows up in subtle ways, not just in how I present myself to others, but in how I negotiate with myself when things get uncomfortable. And so lately I've been going back to the drawing board, looking at my routines and asking the harder questions. Am I still doing this because it's aligned with why I started? Or am I doing it because my subconscious wants to feel like it's winning? Because growth doesn't come from checking boxes, it comes from being willing to stay present in discomfort long enough to learn something about yourself, and that's only possible if you don't let your subconscious rewrite the rules without your consent. If you don't make yourself the final source of truth, the judge, the reference point, the North Star, then discipline becomes empty. Delayed gratification becomes pointless, and progress becomes a performance. Because at the end of the day, the only reward that actually lasts is being able to look into the mirror and recognizing who you see. Not the version that's good at appearing disciplined, but the version that's honest enough to slow down, question itself, and choose growth even when it's uncomfortable. So that is what I've been up to, and honestly, that is the real work ahead. So thank you for listening as always, and I'll see you guys next week.